Robin Brownlee, been following this guy for a long time, reading his stuff, and I'm a big fan. Robin Brownlee joining us on video chat from the Outsiders podcast, Edmonton Sun to his credit, and all kinds of media things. Robin, thanks for joining us. Can I just open this right up with, where's your sports focus this week? Is it World Juniors? Is it anything to do with the Oilers and who they may sign, the Elks and Riders, or something entirely else? What's your focus this week, Robin?
Well, it's still on hockey, Rod. And by the way, good morning. Thanks for having me on. The Oilers still have some things to do. The World Junior Championship, I mean, that's the event that's, right at hand. And it's hard to look past that and not, take a real long look at what's happening. I'm a big fan of the World Junior Championship. The problem for me and for a lot of people, I think, is holding it at this time of year in a town that has a very short summer. You really want to be inside the rink right now. I loved it in Saskatoon when the van would pick us up and Frank Orr would get in the van frozen solid, or we'd have to drive down to Regina for games there in a whiteout snowstorm. That's the World Junior Championship. Games during sunny August days is not the time. The other thing, obviously, it's not even the elephant in the room, it's more obvious than that. The issues of Hockey Canada right now, hockey in general, hockey at the junior level, is having its day of reckoning right now because of what's happened in the past. 2018, 2003, and we can go back, Rod, you know this game, we can go back to Graham James. It's an ugly topic, it's something you wish you didn't have to talk about, but it is far past time that hockey deals with this. It's too bad it has to start now. It's too bad the kids who are out there wanting to compete have to deal with the fallout from this. But it needs to be done, it needs to be exposed, so that unless we deal with it now, we can't get past it. And I've been watching this game long enough to think we're way late on this, and it's about time. Tough for the kids now, but it needs to happen.
I agree, and Sheldon Kennedy's made his thoughts known. He's represented the country before, and I'm kind of looking at it this way. Yeah, it's been brought to the forefront. It needs to be dealt with, and it will. And in a lot of ways, it's a legal matter now. That has nothing to do with Connor Bedard, Team Canada, and these players now here. So whether you want to buy a ticket or you don't is entirely each consumer's choice. But will you be watching this afternoon, Robin, or not?
Absolutely. I mean, I love the game and I love the event, and these kids, whether it's Connor Bedard, talk about starting at the top in terms of marquee guys goes, what a player. They're here to play hockey. They're here to do what they do. This does not fall on them. If you love hockey, I think you watch these kids, no matter what country you're from, and you cheer for the country you're behind, and you treat it as best you can. If you don't have the time and you're out at the lake and you're not going to be in the building or watch any of it, that's your call. But yeah, I'm keeping tabs for sure.
Well, you keep very close tabs on the CFL, and now the CFL and the Edmonton Elks, they've had enough scandals, and I'm talking about name changes and all the rest. Nothing as egregious as what Hockey Canada is being accused of here, or the 2018 team members. But they would love the pub that the Hockey Canada, the World Juniors, are getting this week. I haven't heard a lot of buzz about the Riders and Elks on Saturday. What's your take on that game, and where the Elks are at 2-6?
Well, I mean, as long as they don't have to play the BC Lions anytime soon, they may have a shot at actually walking onto the field and feeling like they can win. They've been terrible. I don't think this is what anybody expected under Chris Jones. We weren't going to complete turnaround. We know the kind of season they're coming off. But Saskatchewan's going to be a tough out for this team. The Elks, Taylor Cornelius, I like a lot of aspects of his game, but I haven't seen him put it together yet. Plus, he's running for his life half the time. and the defense can't get anything done to save its life. So I don't know. This looks like a tough game again for Chris Jones and the Elks, and I don't know what they do against the Rough Riders. They haven't exactly been hell on wheels either this season. They have their own issues.
Yeah, well, Riders favored by 6 going in, and who knows, I'll be there. I expect a good enough game, but I tell you what, Robin, think of this. When Jones left in 2015, you just won the Grey Cup. The West Final had 34,000 fans here, Eskimos and Stamps. He comes back, worst team in the league, the name's changed, scorched earth. They were 3-11 the season before. Massive reclamation project for Chris Jones. Do you not think the expectations are a little high for what he's inherited here, or have I misread that, being a Chris Jones guy?
Well, you know what? Here's the thing, Rod, and you know this. The atmosphere and the situation may not be your fault at any particular time. But when you're the guy coming in, it's your problem. And that's what I see here. People expect a lot from a Chris Jones football club, and the man knows how to coach. But right now, he's not getting it done. So I don't know. I didn't poll fans and say, what are your expectations this year in terms of where the team finishes and do they contend in the playoffs? Coming from the bottom, which is rare for fans in this generation. Not that there's been a ton of success since the last Cup, but I tell you what, things have been turned upside down. And you know what happened, Rod? And you know this. They became a bad football team on the field, and they also became something less than they were off the field in terms of their relationship with the fans. And there were lots of issues there. Game night presentation, we've had the name change and all those things. So there's more than one challenge. It's going to take time, but telling people who've not seen the product that they've wanted to see for 5-7 years, be patient, that can be a tough sell, right?
Absolutely. Hey, we don't even have a minute left. I'll just ask you this. The Oilers, do you believe they're in on PK Subban? And who's the other one I'm hearing? Phil Kessel? Do you think what are the chances they sign with Edmonton?
I just wrote about that this morning. You know what? Ken Holland has talked about having some interest in Phil Kessel. All Phil Kessel does, except for last year, is score goals. You can look at him and say he looks like an accountant. He's not an athlete. But the man scores goals and he stays healthy. If he wants to come here on a bargain contract, I pursue that all day long. This is the first I heard of PK Subban. Do you want him here? Is he too big a personality to be a third-line player, playing fewer minutes than he ever has? He was under 20 minutes a game for the first time in his career last season. Even at a cut-rate contract, he's not the minute muncher he once was. He's not the offensive force he once was. So I see it a lot less likely that the Oilers are in on Subban, but I can see them doing something with Phil Kessel.
Robin, they can't get enough Oilers coverage, as you know. Where can they read your stuff, our viewers?
I'm writing these days, as I have since 2007, at Oilers Nation on the Nation Network. A lot of fun writing there. A friend of mine and somebody you know as well, Jason Greger, writes there as well. So we keep tabs on the Oilers for the fans here. It's a great site for the fans. They enjoy it. We have some fun writing. Don't have to play it as straight as I used to in the old newspaper days. But yeah, if you want to read what I've got to say, OilersNation.com.
You guys are the best. Robin, thanks for jumping on. Enjoy the games.
Okay. Thanks, Rod. See ya.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching the RP Show on YouTube. And don't forget, we're live daily on YouTube from noon to 2 Eastern. If you like what you see, hit subscribe. And if you like the program, check around for other segments of the Rod Pedersen Show here on YouTube.